All right, we're live now on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
Oh no, it is a spoilerish one. Ah, man, I fudged that up. That's
It's a
okay.
new one. No, it's okay. It's okay. All right, let me get rid of this music, even though it's "Fallen Angel" by Poison. Great song.
Win
I can't,
big,
I can't believe they
mama's
changed.
fallen
I
angel.
can't believe
Win
they
big.
changed it so that Ellen comes back from the dead, not Gage. Well, I was reading a little bit about it, and they said the director was saying that it's harder to train a 3-year-old to be like vicious and come back. And they would have to use a lot of CGI, but why can't they just find a kid like Miko Hughes?
Yeah, I was gonna say not everybody.
I mean, he's a rare talent when it came to that, that role.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the one thing.
Boys have a penis, girls have vaginas.
Yeah, he was a good actor.
Talent?
He was in. He's also in New Nightmare.
That's
He's
true.
a New Nightmare. That was the best time I saw Heather Langenkamp as an actor. Like in their first whatever Nightmare on Elm Street, she was okay, and then the third one she was okay, and then it was really like New Nightmare where her acting chops shined.
Yeah, but she was also kind of playing herself, as
Yeah.
a fictionalized version of herself.
Yeah.
My favorite part of that movie, and the whole movie, honestly, is John Saxon. Towards the end of the movie, whenever he's like seamlessly talking to her as Heather, and then when it turns into the nightmare world, and it's him starts talking to her as Nancy. I love that whole scene and the way he does it. He does such a good job in that role, in that part.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like New Nightmare. I thought Freddy Krueger was the scariest in New Nightmare.
No, I think it's become one of the better films of the series.
Yeah.
Of the sequels, yeah.
It's a really well done movie. It's different. It's meta. It's really cool. I like it a lot. It's not one of my go-tos though. When it comes to Nightmare, if I'm going to watch a Nightmare, I've got 1 or 4 that I watch.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
So anybody on YouTube? Nope, nobody's here yet. Not enjoying the pre-show.
We can talk about it again when we're live on Facebook.
We'll be talking about those 2 new trailers that they just kind of blindsided us with. Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta close this door.
Okay. All right, intro is playing.
Hey! We're good.
Give me 1 hour, children.
That's not. It's not even. I can't even get an hour. It's like, give me 1 hour. 2 minutes later. Is it an hour up yet? So I think I'm gonna watch Suspiria tonight.
You should
get it over with. I've got people apparently waiting for me to have seen it. My brother and a couple other people.
I was hoping it would drop in price a little bit. I just have to pull the trigger.
Yeah, I think it's going to remain $20.
All right, here we go. All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome to THS Lives here tonight on the Horror Syndicate Facebook page and YouTube page. My name is Brian Enright. You can follow me here on Facebook at Brian Enright or Instagram and Twitter at The Horror Jew. We are 1 man down tonight. Mike Lombardo will join us next week. Right now, he is off saving lives, 1 life at a time. So we will see him next week. But up next, we have Jared Letourneau. Jared, good evening.
Good evening, Brian, and all the boils and ghouls at home. I hear Mike Lombardo is doing wonderful things with his mouth right now, so hopefully he will join us well-rested next week. But you guys can follow me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau or on Twitter at @zombie_survivor. Back to you.
All right, thank you very much, Jared. And of course, we have our president, Ray Merrick. Ray, good evening.
More like one lover down.
Yeah.
That didn't work very well. Yeah, you can follow me at Razor33 on Instagram, where I put pictures up. Excited to be here tonight at my house. Anyway, back to you, Brian.
All right.
So
Okay.
hold on, I forgot. Well, now that I'm in here, have the movies, the TV set up in here. I got a movie playing whenever we do the podcast. This week it's Sorority Babes at Slimeball Bolorama, so, starring the lovely Linnea Quigley.
That's with Linnea Quigley and Brink Stevens, right?
Yes, and
All right.
Rick from Nightmare 4.
Now this is that's funny because that movie used the same cast from like Night of the Demons. Like they all just kind of like ventured over to from Night of the Demons to do that movie.
Yeah. It's fun. It's a fun movie. It's out of control. It's totally 80s at the end of the 80s. Love it. It's actually Renee's probably her best role ever. Like the most screen time she's ever had without even getting topless. So
well, I mean, unless you get the unless you're like me and you buy the Linnea Quigley workout horror workout DVD, then yeah, there's a whole lot of boobage in that with Linnea Quigley. But yeah, there wasn't a lot of boobage with that in the Sorority Babes of Slime Bolorama.
no, almost none. So anyway, yeah, it's sad. It's not unlike Demons where you only get one breast.
One breast, but is it cocaine?
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to go with our topics for the evening?
Is Brian froze?
Is Brian frozen? This is what happens when you're live. Brian is totally frozen.
He is totally frozen.
So I'll go ahead and start, I guess. And Brian will be back shortly, I'm sure. Uh-oh. Yeah, our live video has been interrupted on there it goes. Jared, are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, I think our live video has been interrupted on Facebook. Do we have any viewers here on YouTube yet?
There we go. Hey.
There he's back. Okay.
All right, so we had cocaine fueled breasts, and let's see if we're still live on the feed. Yeah, we are still live on Facebook land, so that's good. There we are. Cool. All right, so we had cocaine. All right, wait, are we? I don't know.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
Okay. All right. Cool. So, we had a couple trailers drop today that really shocked the horror world by surprise. 2 reboots this week. I'm sorry, not today, but this week. Earlier this week, we had the trailer number 2 for Pet Sematary, starring John Lithgow, and today we had the Child's Play teaser trailer, the 1-minute trailer with Aubrey Plaza. And this seems to divide a lot of fans in the horror community, those young and old. A lot of people seem pretty optimistic about these movies, but there's some of us that are not sure because of what we've got in the future. But I don't know. I want to talk to you guys about it. You saw the trailers, Jared and Ray. What did you guys think?
Why don't we start with Pet Sematary?
I don't want either.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I don't either. I'll say this. I'm intrigued by the movie. Knowing the plot twist and the trading of the 2 kids bothers me, but not because they traded. It's harder to watch a 1-year-old die than a 7 or 10 or 12-year-old, but it bothered me that they showed it in the trailer. It's like in Terminator Genesis, they showed the twist in the movie, starring Jason Clarke, who also stars in this movie. Mm-hmm. So it's like, why would you do that? Just show another trailer with a little bit and let us all go see this in the theater instead of it ruining it. I think they just lost probably about $5 million, maybe 10, by showing all that in the trailer. That's all I got to say about it. I want to see it. I'll probably go see it in the trailer or in the theater. In the trailer, maybe.
I'll see it in the trailer.
We are. Hear me?
Yeah, Brian is having technical difficulties.
Yeah. But to piggyback what you were saying, Ray, like they definitely did lay the entire movie out for you. We've all seen the original if you're horror fans. So I'm wondering, this isn't necessarily a hot take, but it's like they showed you a twist. I'm wondering if they're going to show you some other fucking shit in the movie itself. Like if they're just they're baiting you to watch it later on. That was what I got from watching that trailer. I was like, shit, it just seems too like if they're just cookie cutter that they're going to show the entire movie in the trailer because we already know what the movie's about. We know what the basic plot line of Stephen King's novel's about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what if they both kids die?
Yeah.
You know, what if it's a red herring, if you will?
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
which is what I was immediately wondering.
Yeah, I mean, and they kind of showed the end. Did they show the end of what the last movie ended with Rachel coming back? I can't remember. I watched it a couple times, and I guess I put it out of my head already.
I think at the end they just showed where John Lithgow was going to get penciled in his ankle.
Yeah, they showed her under the steps wearing a mask.
Yeah,
and I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe it'll be okay. I'm interested to see it more than I was before because of the change. I have an issue with them giving away what's happening in the movie. In the trailer, they're doing that a lot more these days.
Because that is a twist you would rather see in the theater for sure. But
yeah, absolutely.
It's just the way that everything's set up with the kids running around with masks. I have a feeling there's a lot more going on in this movie that they're like not letting on. So I'm hoping, fingers crossed that there's more that's going to happen.
It's a reimagining for sure. I just put the link up on YouTube or on Facebook for YouTube. But obviously it's a reimagining and they're doing something different, which is actually kind of a good thing. Sometimes I think as fans we get hung up on it's got to be exactly like the original or exactly like. I don't know if it does. Hey, what's the word, Brian?
No, it's my internet's being a total trash panda right now. So
trash panda.
It's being a pineapple.
I like that. Pineapple.
Yeah. Just in case, I directed people to the YouTube.
No, that's perfectly fine. I have no idea what's going on with my internet. Producing this type of stuff, indie style, can never guarantee what the outcome's going to be. But you guys are doing a great job.
As Freddie Mercury says, the show must go on.
Exactly, yes. And then you die of AIDS. So no, I kind of like piggyback what you were saying, Ray, is that there are people that are upset, and I put up a post today. Not because I'm on the fence. I'm always on the fence when it comes to horror reboots, and I get it from both sides. There's the side that says, "Oh my god, I'm really excited for this," and then there's the side that says, "We don't need another fucking remake." And I'm always on the fence because of remakes such as The Fog, Nightmare on Elm Street, remakes such as what's a terrible one, for example?
They remade The Fog.
Yeah, they remade The Fog. Yeah, back in 2000.
It was that bad that we can just forget about it.
And then you have your remakes like Dawn of the Dead and Evil Dead and The Hills Have Eyes, and they completely with the exception of Dawn of the Dead and Evil Dead, The Hills Have Eyes completely blew the original one out of the water because it had the love and dedication, and the director was a huge horror fan. He started his horror movies with High Tension, so when they moved him over to do this, and he made a very impactful movie. And then, of course, you had Zack Snyder and James Gunn, who had been huge horror fans for a long time when they got together to shoot Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was not so much trying to be like the original movie. It had to say it's kind of like a remaster, like a reimagining of Dawn of the Dead, kind of like Resident Evil 2 did.
Yeah,
Resident Evil.
With Dawn of the Dead, though, if it didn't say Dawn of the Dead, it could have been just a fantastic zombie movie. I think,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and besides 28 Days Later, which brought us running infected, they weren't actually zombies. Dawn of the Dead brought us running zombies, and if you zombies alone are scary, but if you have a horde of zombies running after you, that's even scarier. That takes a lot of stamina out of someone, especially if you're overweight, and the Zombieland covered it perfectly. Then you need to have the agility to outrun these zombies. But you know, and there's always I'm always on the fence whenever a reboot or remake comes out. Child's Play, I really wasn't a huge fan of Child's Play. I liked the original movie. I thought number 2 was the best one out of the entire franchise. And Bride of Chucky, of course, is fun and a different kind of segue into a different story. And Pet Sematary is this punk rock horror movie, and the stigma that it left with everyone, it resonates. Because you know they remember this movie being so scary and so like heart-wrenching because the child dies, and it had that amazing song by the Ramones, and it was directed by Mary Lambert, who was a fantastic director. And now you get like this you know, you get like another movie, and they changed the plot twist on the second trailer. It's now Ellen who dies instead of Gage, and it's kind of like, you know, you took something the fans love and you threw them a curveball, and you know fans can either like that or they could not. But when Batman came out back in 1989, people talked a lot of shit on it because it was Tim Burton directing it. It was Michael Keaton playing as Batman, and it wasn't until the trailer came out where people were like, "I need to see this fucking movie." Of course, we didn't have the internet back in the day, but we, you know, had, you know, social circles that were a lot smaller, and people talked, and especially in the comic book world, everyone was, you know, everyone had something to say, no matter what it was. And it wasn't until the trailer came out, and people, I forget what movie was playing in the theaters, but it premiered the Batman trailer before it played, and people paid money just to go see that trailer for Batman, and then they didn't even bother seeing the movie. They went home. I think it's, you know, change is always good. So my words to you, if you don't want a movie to come out and you're totally against it, which I don't think Child's Play and Pet Sematary has the large amount of fans like Batman does. But if you don't want these movies to come out, or you don't want reboots to come out, don't see the movie. Don't even pirate it, because you're even bigger douchebag for doing that. But don't see the fucking movie. Then the movie won't get made.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to see the Pet Sematary movie. I love the original, and the best part about it is, and I think I said this before when we did another show, if you don't like the remake or you don't want to see it, guess what? The other one's still there.
Yeah.
When Halloween came out, they erased all the timeline. The other ones are still there. I mean, it's still there. If you don't like this one, watch the other one. If you don't like either one, read the fucking book.
Exactly.
It's fine. So Child's Play, if we're done with that.
Yeah, we can move on to the next one. That's fine.
So we got before we do that, I'm gonna read Anthony T's horror show. It says, I'm sold on Pet Sematary remake, but I despise the Child's Play trailer. That is one of the worst teaser trailers I've ever seen, and it makes you wonder if Chucky's going to talk at all. That's a good point. His voice is very important to me.
Because we've gotten so used to Brad Dourif.
Oh yeah. Well, how many movies is it? 6, 7?
7?
It's 7. That's right. I like the Child's Play movies, with the exception of Seed of Chucky, and the last 2 were really good. I don't care that they're remaking Child's Play one bit. Mm-hmm. I want to see what they're going to do to make it different, to make it fresh. Mm-hmm. But I just don't understand. I don't think it's necessary at this point while the current series is still running. Yeah. It makes zero sense to me. This is why. So in the DC Warner world,
just came out last year, didn't it?
Yeah, right. It did. But in the DC Comics movie world, they will not put Batman on the TV show, on any of the TV shows, while there's a Batman movie playing in the theater, a Batman series running in the theater, because they don't want to confuse people. I think this could confuse people. Mm-hmm. You know, because the series is going to be on Sci-Fi, from what I understand, and it's going to pick up right after Cult of Chucky, which I'm pointing because I got them back here. Mm-hmm. But it's going to pick up after Cult of Chucky, and then this movie's going to be, and the movie's probably going to come out before the show will ever air. But yeah. If the show even fucking airs at this point, but I don't know. If Seed of Chucky was the last movie, even if Curse of Chucky would have been the last movie, I'd be fine with this remake coming out. I also think it may have shown a little bit too much, even though it was like a minute and 13. It was a good trailer, I thought, honestly. Mm-hmm.
showed Aubrey Plaza getting strung up at the end.
That's the thing I don't think we needed to see. And you obviously, she gets fucked up at some point. She's tied up. Great. That's something that we may need to see later in the, not in a goddamn trailer. Do they understand what a teaser trailer is? It's not a story trailer. It's a teaser. It's supposed to give you a little tease.
Yeah.
Show a knife and then show the face of the doll or something.
Yeah.
We have Keith Saunders on Facebook land. He says, I'm a big Child's Play fan. One thing that I will say about the trailer is not showing everything. I'd love to not see Chucky till I see the movie. I think would be great.
That'd be great. Same thing with the voice, but I'd like to know who's voicing them.
Do we have a voice actor announced yet?
That's CBA. I checked today when I put the trailer up on our website.
Now, the movie would have me sold, and I will spend money to see the movie first day it comes out. If the voice of Chucky was Gilbert Gottfried, that would get me to the theater. Okay, I will see this fucking movie.
Why?
I will pre-order tickets the minute they come out. All right, because I think that Gilbert Gottfried voicing Chucky would be the greatest thing that's ever happened to the horror community.
Oh my God.
I mean, anybody could really voice Chucky at this point, but it's still going to be hard to watch a movie and not hearing Brad Dourif. And I think that could be why it wasn't a radical change, but the doll looks a lot different. And Joe originally mentioned something in the comments before, but Andy does look a little old to be playing with dolls like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he almost looks like he's like 10 or 11, maybe 12.
Yeah, so I kind of wonder what exactly. I know it's some Wi-Fi doll, and that's the other thing. Is it going to be possessed by a human, or is it going to be like Man's Best Friend? Some kind of weird glitch or whatever.
I can see that. Or is it like something that's glitched over everything, like some kind of Wi-Fi computer glitch over the whole system?
Maybe that's why it is. Maybe he doesn't have a voice. So
now, speaking about people with dolls, Jennifer Tilly just showed a Instagram photo of her and Tiffany and said, "Not my Chucky" or "Not my Child's Play movie." So she's not going to see it. A lot of the regulars from the franchise have showed disdain towards the new movie. Don Mancini, of course, being the biggest one, saying that that MGM reached out to him for offering him an executive producer role, which basically, if you know what that means, ladies and gentlemen, is the company is asking for your approval to do this movie, and Don Mancini has not given the approval. But since MGM owns the title, they went ahead and made the movie anyway, and this has upset a lot of people, including the fans, including the diehard fans of the saga, including actors such as Jennifer Tilly and Alex Vincent. All of them have been showing disdain towards the new movie coming out, and I think that they have a right, considering that the original franchise, is not over yet. And you were just saying that there's going to be a sci-fi TV show.
Yeah, they have big plans for this, and I'm excited to see where it goes. But yeah, that's my biggest hang up with it. It looks like it could be a fun movie. And of course, I don't know the voice situation or why Chucky's doing what he's doing, because the whole magic part of Chucky was one of my favorite things, because you always had to find the body to hop into. What's Chucky's motivation going to be in this one? I mean, we won't know, but I hope that's it. I don't want to see another trailer from Child's Play. Which we will. We'll see probably another one or two.
Yeah. It's nice to see that Tim Matheson is still making movies. I saw him. My wife knows him from National Lampoon's Animal House. Yeah. I know him from Black Sheep. So now I'm kind of from
He was in Van Wilder too. He played Van Wilder's dad.
Oh really?
Yeah, which is kind of funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah, he's the owner of the company that makes the Chucky doll or the whatever it is. Is he
going to be called Fred too?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So Chucky is so they mentioned that Chucky is Bluetooth compatible, so he's going to be able to learn different tricks as he's going after.
Yeah,
I take it.
So can I play music through Chucky? Is it gonna be like Teddy Ruxpin? You may remember Teddy Ruxpin.
I remember Teddy Ruxpin. I had all the tape
in his chest when he played music or whatever.
Yeah, his mouth opened up with the music. I used to play Metallica cassette tapes for him.
I wonder if you could Shazam like through Chucky with this new like Wi-Fi Bluetooth thing. Chucky,
That's
what are we listening to?
That's what I'm thinking. Like, what if he's coming after
Like,
you
it's
and
gonna
you,
be Chucky. It's gonna be like Alexa, though.
yeah, he's coming after you with a knife and you say, buddy, play Summer Breeze by Seals and Croft. And then he starts playing fucking Summer Breeze.
Hey Alexa, play Summer Breeze.
Chucky, order me some more Fritos.
On Amazon Music.
Now you're either gonna get the Seals and Crofts or the Eiley brothers.
I got the Seals and Croft.
Oh,
What's going on? Can you hear it?
Well, both are great versions.
I was gonna say, how many Alexas just?
I got
Stop.
I got Google Home. So
I didn't like that. I tried it. I didn't like it. I'm gonna get Good Guy Home when it comes to.
So comment section is open. What do you think about the new Pet Sematary and Child's Play trailers? Are you looking forward to it? Are you upset that they're coming out?
Keith Saunders says it has to be a nuclear arms chip like in Small Soldiers. That'd be amazing.
That is a great movie. I had all the toys for that. You know, that was who was in that just passed away? What's his name? Just passed away. Gremlins, Bucket of Blood.
Dick Miller.
Yeah. Dick Miller. Uh-oh. Did he freeze again?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Not again.
Not again.
Something about Dick Miller. So Brian's having all kinds of internet issues out there in Jersey. Is there anything that anybody has to say about the two Pet Sematary, the trailer, or the Child's Play trailer before we move on to talking about the 72 banned movies in England and the UK? Please say it in the comments, and we'll get to it. We got a couple people watching on Facebook still. And nope, it's interrupted again. Okay.
It's probably because he got kicked off.
Yeah, so we got a couple people watching on YouTube. I feel bad. I better get a Toy Story reference in these Chucky movies. Toby Geese says, I heard Chucky controls cars. Well, we'll see what happens. I guess do you want to try to move on to the Video Nasty discussion?
Yeah, we can start it off, and he can jump in. Yeah.
So do you want to explain what Video Nasty is?
Yeah, for anybody that's out there watching, the Video Nasties list was created in the United Kingdom in the early 1980s. They got a hair up their ass when they decided to regulate what was watchable by the family unit, and they started banning certain films and adding them to a banned list, basically. And would you believe it or not, 95% of them are horror movies. Well, pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Are horror movies. Some of them I wouldn't quite call horror movies, but they are horror movies. And Nazi exploitation films I wouldn't necessarily consider horror films, but
yeah, I mean the bulk of them are horror movies, and it goes beyond just banned. I mean, there's 39 that were prosecuted. There's
they literally
33 that were not prosecuted, and then there were others that were called Video Nasties that were just there's like 100. There's 82 of them that were just movies that. Let me see. It's a supplementary list. It's section 3. They had three or four sections.
Yeah.
They could not be prosecuted for obscenity, but were liable to seizure and confiscation.
Yep. They literally try to take the movies off the video store's shelves.
Pretty messed up times. And this was in the 80s, right?
Yeah, this was like early 1981, which precursored Tipper Gore's personal vendetta against music and movies here in the States, if you guys remember that.
Yeah, I do.
We're a little older. Most of the youngins might not remember that. That's why we have the warning explicit lyrics on our albums these days. Well, people get digital downloads. So, God, I'm old.
Yeah, looks like people are jumping from Facebook to YouTube. Thanks for hanging with us. Sorry about the problems, Brian. Brian's internet must be having some issues right now. But anyway, yeah, we wanted. Jared brought this topic up last week when we talked about possible topics and trying to figure out a way. I did one of the things I wanted to figure out was how many of these have we seen out of the actual 72 band, and for me it was only 22.
Yep.
So there's 50 I haven't seen. Probably a lot of them I don't need to see.
A lot of them don't seem like they need to even be on the list, unfortunately.
Yeah. I mean, the Evil Dead is on the list, right?
Yeah.
Evil Speak is on the list. That movie, I don't understand why that's even on the list. There's some movies like Zombie, Lucio Fulci's Zombie makes sense. Anthropophagus, or however you say it. I don't think that belongs on there, even though he eats a fetus and he eats his own guts.
Anthropophagus.
Yeah, however you say it. But the cannibal movies, obviously, like we talked about in our first episode of the season, Cannibal Ferox and Holocaust are on there. There's a lot of cannibal movies actually on here, which that makes sense to me.
Those make sense, yes.
Yeah, but Faces of Death, that makes sense. Tenebra, the Argento movie. That movie's got some great scenes in it, but I don't know. Maybe it's because of the blood. Maybe it's because of the part where the lady gets her arm chopped off and she just sprays blood all over the wall, which was awesome. That was a good movie if nobody's seen that one. There are 39 that were actually prosecuted, and all the ones I just mentioned, except for Evil Dead, were prosecuted. Driller Killer was another one. I haven't seen Driller Killer, though Jared has.
Yep.
I believe, right?
When you watch now, like, you can't imagine why they would want to pull something like that from the shelf. I mean, it's like, I mean, it's got violence, it's got a little bit of gore, but it's not thing that is going to ruin you as a person. Like
Argento's Inferno is on that list. For real? Inferno? I love that movie. That's my favorite Argento movie, but it's not a. I don't see in what world that would need to be banned. I mean, it's not Deep River Savages, for God's sakes, So House, come on.
If there's, for people out there listening, I watched a YouTube video. It's about, I don't know, 25 minutes long. He covers all 72 films pretty quickly. I just YouTubed Video Nasties list and it popped up.
Anthony T's Horror Show, he says there's a great doc on Video Nasties called Video Nasties: The Definitive Guide, released by Severin. So that's interesting. I might check that out.
Yeah.
Thanks for the tip.
But I sat and watched the video along with him, and I've seen 31 of the 72. And like Ray was saying, a lot of these, there's a bunch of Nazis exploitations, and there's other weird, random supernatural flicks that don't even need to belong on something like that. It's just such the weirdest thing. Like, they got this weird hair up their ass. Like, we need to regulate what our children and what our families are watching, and we're gonna pull them off the fucking shelves. And for some reason, it raised a stink all over, and apparently it affected Italy the most.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Italian horror. I mean, they were the nastiest of all the horror movies I've seen. I mean, Lucio Fulci and Joe D'Amato alone. Who else? What's that one guy's name? No, I'm thinking of D'Amato, I think, right? He made Eaten Alive.
The exploitation guy. And Jess Franco, he's the guy that does the really sexy ones.
Yeah, Erotic. No, that's somebody else. Erotic Night of the Living Dead, which is not on the list. There's a few that are not on the list that surprise me, like Eaten Alive, for instance. But there's a movie called Possession on there. I don't get it. Toolbox Murders is on there. And some of these movies didn't get re-released until in the early 2000s, out over there, which is really bizarre. Like, because the 90s, things started changing in the 90s, in the mid 80s and 90s, I think. Here, anyway. But, I don't know. It makes me want to know what other people's favorite movies on the list are. I mean, of the ones prosecuted, I'm looking at it, and I'd have to probably say Zombie. Lucio Fulci's Zombie movie is probably my favorite of all of them on the prosecuted list. Brian says there's an outage in his area. That sucks.
Oh,
But The Beyond and is on the non-prosecuted list, which I really love that movie.
I think House by the Cemetery might be on the prosecuted list too.
Yeah, I don't understand why that one would be.
The YouTube video I watched, all three of those Fulci films were in his top 5.
Yeah.
Because he went from worst to first of all 72 of them. And actually, House by the Cemetery, I think, was better than both of them, which I did not agree with.
That's weird. Well, there's another one that's as a D'Amato is Absurd, which is kind of a ripoff of Halloween, and I expected more gore, and there was barely any. And I mean, Halloween doesn't have gore or anything like that, but that movie was it's absurd that it's even on the list.
Ah, I see what you did there.
But it's an interesting list. I mean, I'm going to go down the list and kind of read through some of the descriptions and see if there's any that I want to see because I'm into this. So far this year, I've watched 55 horror movies, and like 30% of them are new movies I've never seen, and a lot of them are from the Italian horror genre, especially between the eras of 79 and 82 ish. And I'm really enjoying it. So I'm sure there's a lot of those on there, which there are. I mean, it's 72 movies. You can find it on the list on Wikipedia. I'm going to check out the video Jared was talking about, though. I definitely want to check out that Severed Blu-ray. I love documentaries. I can't believe Inferno's on there. That blows my mind.
There's Tonabra, yeah, Inferno.
Yeah,
just that's surprising that either one of those Argento films are even on there.
Yeah. Sorry, I just got a message from Justin Seaman, the owner of Scream Team Releasing, which we haven't mentioned yet tonight. Jared, thanks. Jared just sent me the link to that video. Awesome. Absolutely going to watch that tonight. Well, is there anything else we like this? What do we want to discuss about this? Is there anything else, or do you want to make it a quick show tonight and go over our mail?
I knew it was going to be kind of a brief topic, but I just wanted to you made the absurd joke already. I just wanted to reiterate that a lot of these films that were thought to be that, like, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, but like against the family unit, like back then, like it's just like you look at that now, it's like, why are you even thinking that? Like these movies are not that bad. Like the number one film on the dude's list that I saw on YouTube was Cannibal Holocaust, and that one I can understand because you don't want your kid to get a hold of that film. Like, yeah, I can understand that, but
yeah,
half of these films, they haven't seen the light of day because they were pulled off of fucking shelves. Half of these films haven't seen DVD releases. I mean, some of them probably we don't ever want to see, but like, it's like, I guess that's what the biggest thing that I've gotten from it is just the weird absurdity of it.
It's very weird, very I don't know. I don't get it. I'm whatever. It's over now, right? I mean,
we are way past it, but I mean, it's just like I just thought it was an interesting topic because we see so much graphic violence in television today.
Friday the 13th were on the list. Like they weren't on the actual banned list, but
no, but they got like flagged, I think.
Yeah. Some of the movies got flagged. They got edited.
Yeah.
I think they're in the video nasty because there's 3 or 4 sections. They're in section 3, which is video nasty, which is let's see. These could not be prosecuted for obscenity, but were liable to seizure and confiscation under the less obscene charges. So these tapes could be seized from distributors or merchants.
Just from owning it or renting it.
Friday the 13th and Friday the 13th Part 2 and Dawn of the Dead, of course.
Dawn of the Dead was on there, yeah.
Yeah, I can see that being on there. I remember, this is funny, going back, I remember my mom back in '83 maybe, they got a copy of Dawn of the Dead and talked about how gross. I mean, my aunts and uncles, they were all in their early 20s at the time, and they were talking about how messed up everything, and people eating each other's flesh and stuff. And it had like a rated X. I don't know if that's true, if it was ever rated X, but they got a copy of it, and I'll never forget. We watched it. They had a split level, where the stairs go up and there's a living room, and then they go down the basement. Anyway, you could see straight in the living room from the stairs, and me and my cousins are sitting there watching, and I'll never forget watching that opening scene in the bodega, and seeing people actually being bitten. It messed me up for a long. I didn't watch Dawn of the Dead till I was 16.
Yeah,
because of it. But I could see movies like that. I can't believe that wasn't on the banned list. It was just one of the ones that could be seized. I can't believe this. Night of the Living Dead is on there too. Nightmare City, yeah, that's
yeah.
on there.
It's
Fantastic.
weird random ones. Contamination's on that
That's a good
too.
movie. Rabid, Prom Night, Suspiria, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Go figure.
I think Phantasm is on there too.
Yeah, Phantasm. The Thing. Zombie Holocaust. That's a good movie too, guys. There's some good movies for you guys to check out if you haven't seen them that we're naming off. So Keith Saunders says, well, I mean, people went through or thought Kiss was devil music back in. It really was. Yeah, that was in the '70s. Ever seen Detroit Rock City? That kind of shows what some people thought of Kiss. Did you ever see that, Jared?
Yeah, Edward Furlong and some other dudes.
Yeah, James DeBello and a bunch of people. But anyway, I guess Brian's not going to rejoin us because there's an outage in Jersey. Thanks everybody for sticking with us over here on YouTube. So yeah, there's check out the list. You go to the video that Jared talked about, which actually I'm going to link in the comments here. That way, if you want to see it,
Good idea.
Or unless you want to do it, I can do it either way.
Go ahead.
Okay, and then check that video out. Check out the Severin documentary because documentaries are great. Speaking of documentaries, and just Google it. Great documentary is on Shudder now called Horror Noire, however you say it.
Yeah.
I watched it last night. Loved it. It's about black cinema, black horror. And it's got some guys like Ken Foray and copy link editors. There we go. Sorry.
Is it more like geared towards American black and white, like not Hammer horror black and white?
No, not black and white. African American black.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Why is this fucking doing this? Yeah, it's great. So they talk about like Blackula and Tales from the Hood, and really they talk about how the struggle of blacks being in movies. How at first they were white people with blackface, and they weren't even in the movies. And then finally they started breaking into roles and making their own movies as well. And then eventually we got to see more and more black-led movies. And Blackula was directed by an African American director. My friend Sean hates being called African American, so he says it's okay to say black. If that sounds bad, I'm sorry. But it's a really good documentary. And plus, it shows some movies I've never seen that I kind of want to check out now, which is one of the reasons I like documentaries that encompass a whole genre of things, not just one movie or one series of movies. So I ended up watching Tales from the Hood last night, which I hadn't seen since the 90s, man. That movie's so much fun.
I haven't seen that in years.
Dude, I love it. But anyway, you want to do some mail day?
Yeah. Do you want me to go first, or would you like to?
Yeah, I'm trying to get that fucking link. Hold on, because it's taking me through. There we go. I think I got it now. Go ahead.
I can go first. So we've been wanting to do this for the last couple of episodes, so my mail day kind of spans for the last month and a half or so. But I picked up a copy of Contamination from Arrow, which is on one of the lists of the Video Nasty.
And I thought you guys were going to make fun of me for liking that movie.
I like bodies exploding.
Yeah, that's a fun movie. I saw that as my I keep going down the rabbit hole in Italian horror, and that one just reminds me of Alien and what was the other movie I compared it to? I don't know. It's a fun, weird movie. I really liked it.
It's a total piggyback of Alien, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to me with
Yeah, I
a
got that.
with a weird VHS slipcover.
Yeah, really cool.
I kind of like it. I picked it up on Amazon. I think it's like only $8. It's pretty nice looking. Another one is Michael Cohen or Larry Cohen's The Stuff.
Oh, how much you pay for that?
22, 21.
Damn, that's one I want to pick up. I had it in my hands today when I was at Vintage Stock, but couldn't pull the trigger. It's $26 there.
Jeez. The last two are personal faves because I'm a huge Fulci fan, but I got Enigma on Blu-ray from 88 Films. You could probably find it on eBay, region free for 15, 18. And the last one was from Scorpion Releasings, the Fulci's release of The Psychic.
One I need to see. That's number 5 on your list of top 10 Fulci movies.
I think so, yeah.
It's Fulci February, just if anybody's wondering.
And it's got a cool reverse. You can have the reverse cover of the original cover on the inside. And I actually got in. I think it's limited, but it came with a little baby poster on the inside of the DVD too.
Nice.
But you can. Scorpion Releasing is actually kind of a new and up and coming releasing company. If you haven't heard of them, they release their films through RoninFlix.com, RoninFlix.com. They also have another Fulci film called Murder Rock that is amazing, fun 80s giallo type film, which is this one. They have original cover art. It's like they're doing exactly like what Scream Factory is doing and what Arrow's doing. Like they have original covers and original
I've never
artwork.
seen that one.
But the price point's a little expensive. I think they're 25 a piece, maybe 26. But they also have films that you don't find anywhere else. So if you're looking for like the newer releasing company, Scorpion Releasing and RoninFlix.com, I've found a lot of interesting films on that website.
People talk about physical media is dying. I don't think it is. With all there's new ones popping up, not popping up, but like Blue Underground's still alive and well. We do see some stuff from Anchor Bay, but Scream Factory, Arrow, now Scorpion, and what's that, Kino Larber. There's so many of these distributors who are putting out good stuff and stuff that is almost impossible to find. Cemetery Man, please. I think it's a great time to be a film collector, a horror film, even not even just horror, just a film in general. I mean, my collection is getting so large. Thanks in part to Scream Factory and Arrow, but there's so many others. Severin is another one that I'm really digging. They put out some of those video nasties are released by Severin. There's also weird movies by Vinegar Syndrome. There's a bunch of them. Great stuff. I grabbed everything that I've gotten in the last month since the last time we had a show. Well, back in December. So, which isn't much for me because I buy movies like every time I get money. It's ridiculous. But so Sunday, I bought The Church. Michele Soave, right? This is Demons 3, essentially. I have the DVD, which looked pretty rough. It was a Blue Underground DVD, so I went ahead and upgraded to Blu-ray because I really, really liked this movie after seeing it the other day. For the first time. I also bought Night of the Creeps and returned it because Scream Factory, the day after I bought it, it was leaked and then announced that they were, the weekend after my birthday, May 28th or the week after my birthday. Of course, I got Suspiria, which I need to watch, and Halloween. This was cool because I got the digital first, and then they sent me the Blu-ray with another digital copy inside, which is pretty awesome. So if you do digital to disc from Vudu, they'll send you the copy with the digital code inside, which is weird. Suspiria I have not watched yet. I think I gotta watch it this weekend so I can talk to people about it. It's 2.5 hours long, which feels like
Fest.
yeah. I mean, I'm excited to see it because I know it's going to be different from the other movie, which I love the other movie, even though this movie's better. Inferno. Finally got the Blu-ray. I got it today. I took Night of the Creeps back. It's not a mail call. I got it from Vintage Stock, but I needed to have it. So, on Blu-ray. It's my favorite Argento, I think. This Tenebra I really like that one. I also when I'm there when I go to Vintage Stock, I always got my brother-in-law is the same way now, which I got it from him. I'm gonna get a $4 used movie, so I got a Howling Reborn, which I watched half of it and it's garbage, but I have all the other Howling movies, so why not,
Yeah.
And then of course Jared. Yeah. Same thing. I haven't opened it yet, but I love these cases. They're so cool because I got and they're releasing more of them too. This distributor, Mill Creek.
Mill Creek, yeah.
Yeah, which they released the.
They've been known for doing a lot of cheap releases.
I got this one too. This was the first one I got, which was awesome because it came with the digital, and it's the producer's cut. So I got that a few months ago. But yeah, they have a bunch more coming out. I saw a list on their Facebook page of all the different. They're doing these VHS style releases on a bunch of them, not just horror either. There's all kinds of cool stuff. Some of them aren't slips. Some of them are actually just like posters like little posters, which is kind of cool. I'd rather have a slip, but yeah, I mean. If you got a mail day, share it with us on Facebook.
Yeah, just flash a picture of your mail haul and
Just yeah, we're collectors. We love collectors. We love seeing I love seeing people's collections, especially. Yeah, anytime we do something like this, snap a picture, send it to us, or send it to our Facebook messenger. You do that too. Okay. So anyway, anything else we want to talk about? Keep it a short show tonight since Brian dipped out. He probably did it on purpose because he's got that Olive Garden reunion.
oh yeah, he's probably got to gussy himself up.
Yeah, got a pregame. No, he's had a few problems with the internet before at his place, but yeah, check out the Video Nasties list. Check out that documentary on Shudder if you have Shudder. If you don't have Shudder, I would absolutely 100% recommend getting Shudder because a lot of these movies on that list are on Shudder. I didn't even think about saying that before. There's a great Italian section on there. Jared, you got to get Shudder, brother.
PS4.
Just bite the bullet and get a Roku. Get one of those Roku sticks. Plug it into the USB port, I think, on the TV. You're good to go.
I'm gonna keep trolling that motherfucker.
You should. Did you start following him?
Possibly.
If nobody knows what we're talking about a year ago, Jared tweeted something, or Rob Martinez, one of the two tweeted something. You guys have very similar Twitter handles, Zombie Survivor and Zombie Lover or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of you guys mentioned something about where's the PS4 Shudder app, and a year later, somebody said something about it on somebody else's thing, and then one of the guys from Shudder popped on and said it's not the app that we're having problems with, it's Sony. So Sony needs to get on it because it's on the Xbox. I've got it playing right now. I honestly don't hate the interface on the Xbox. I like the Roku way better. It's so much easier. I'm telling you, Jared, just it doesn't come out by this Christmas. I'm gonna fucking buy you one of those Roku sticks on Black Friday for like $20. I'm gonna ship it down to KC, and you're gonna be watching Shudder. We're gonna watch Shudder at the same time, same movies, because you got to get on watching the Joe Bob stuff, because
That's what I feel like I'm missing out on, man.
You're missing out. It's gold. The Joe Bob on Shudder is. I missed out on Joe Bob when I was a kid.
Yeah, you did.
It's been around since the '80s, and I'm catching up now. It would be great if they could find a way, Shudder, to get all the old backlog catalog of Joe Bob's Monster Vision or whatever he did on all the other stations and put it on Shudder somehow, because that would be awesome. But I know there's another one coming out. He did the Christmas one where I showed the Phantasm movies except for 2. And then Thanksgiving, they did the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which is his favorite movie. The Hills Have Eyes, and 2 other movies that I can't remember the names of. But that's how I'm watching Slimeball Bolorama. Matter of fact, check it out. There's the imp.
There he is. Look at him.
Anyway, yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for, weathering the storm, if you will. Like we said, Brian had some difficulties, but we made it through. Jared, how you living over there?
I'm living okay. Slow and steady. It's been cold as shit. Snowing.
Yeah. It was nice earlier this week, and then we got, down to 11 degrees last night. So I guess we'll wrap it up. Thanks again for following us over here. And again, if there's any issues with Facebook, we're always live here, and the show's always going to be here. If you missed last week, we talked about the Resident Evil 2 game, and that's still here. I put it up on the website earlier. And then also the week before, we talked about all the cannibal movies. So that was a fun show. Hopefully we'll have Mike back next week. If you can think of a topic you want to hear me, Jared, Brian, and Mike talk about, let us know, because we were at a loss this week of what to talk about. So we can talk about anything. I'm really glad, honestly, that the 2 trailers dropped because that kind of helped out a little bit. Maybe we'll get some more trailers, but maybe the It trailer will drop soon, because It Chapter 2 will be coming out at the end of the year. It's a good year for horror, I think, overall.
I'm hoping so.
I think there's going to be some good things coming out. The Scream Team releasing Close Calls will be coming out soon.
Yep.
She Was So Pretty 1 and 2 came out. I know there's a few others. I can't. Justin sends me art mock-ups all the time of what the cut cases are going to look like, because he values my opinion. I don't know why people value my opinion, but
you've got an eye. You've got an eye.
Yeah, I've got 2 of them. But anyway, anything you want to say, Jared?
No, I just want to mention, thanks to Scream Team Releasing and Real Splatter Productions, for aligning with us for our podcast this year. And like you said, like if anybody watching out there has any topics that they wouldn't mind us talking about, we're always spitballing ideas. Like,
yeah. So we don't have topics for next week yet. Kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Is that how they say it?
Yeah.
And we do like to do. Yeah. That actually, I take it back. We do have a topic next week. We're gonna have Jen Nangle on. She is Malvolia.
Is that next week?
That's next week, the 15th. So she'll be on next week. And Anthony T, you know what? I can't believe I didn't even think about it. Women in Horror. We'll do that on the 22nd for sure. That's the last day of February. It is Fulci February also, people. Get out there and watch some Lucio Fulci movies. Just look behind me. I've got, is it 3 of them? Yeah. Zombie, City of the Living Dead, and then The Beyond. All of them are on Shudder. Well, I don't know if Zombie is, but I know City of the Living Dead is. And
I guess it's fitting the first guest we have for this year is a female during Women of Horror Month.
So was our second guest. Well, no, not in the middle of horror. Yeah. So Jen Nangle. If you don't know Malvolia, look her up on Facebook. I will be sharing a ad or whatever sometime early next week. She is super cool.
She was in 1031, if you guys have seen that, from Scream Team Releasing.
And there's a movie that is free on YouTube that she's in called That Night. It's about 30 minutes long. So that's on there also. And she's got a bunch of Malvolia shorts on her YouTube channel, which I can share in the comments. She is super cool. And I'm not just saying that because she says I'm attractive. that helps. But she is Malvolia, the queen of screams.
Stoke the ego.
Stroke it. Anyway, she's actually really cool. Yeah, she was also in 1031. Thank you. She hosted 1031 actually.
Yeah, she was the host.
And she's going to be hosting 1031 too when that comes out.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because there's the teaser poster was her holding like a flaming jack-o'-lantern, which was pretty sweet. I'm sure what we need to have on is Rocky Gray.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
The creator of 1031 and the former drummer of Evanescence.
If we could get him on, that would be cool.
I bet we could. I mean, I've actually had a few conversations with him, and I see him on Facebook quite a bit. So we'll talk to about getting Rocky on. I'm sure he wouldn't mind promoting his movie and his other movie. Which, if you haven't seen 1031, it's a horror anthology set on Halloween. And go to screamteamreleasing.com and you can pick up a copy. Which I'm typing into the. There you go. There's a couple links, a couple things to check out. So join us next week to see Malvolia. Jared, where can we find you?
Hi, Brian.
Pretend I'm not here. Pretend I'm not here.
We're winding it down, but yeah, you guys can find me on Facebook at Jared Letourneau or at zombie_survivor on Twitter. Like we said, if you guys want us to talk about something, or if you have any new movies you want us to discuss, let us know down in the comments. We are always up for a challenge. Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Okay, you can find Brian off the grid.
Yeah, sorry about that. So I'm having issues with Comcast. It's Comcast's fault, not my fault. And I was just on the phone with them, and yeah, thanks Comcast. Today was a great show. Thanks to Comcast, our sponsor, and Scream Team Releasing, our big sponsor, and our other sponsor, Real Splatter Productions. My name is Brian. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter at Brian Enright or the Horror Jew. Where can we find you, Ray?
The only place I want people to look for me is Instagram. Or if you follow, some of you people already follow me on Facebook as it is, but Instagram, Razor33, or you could find me watching Sorority Babes at Slime Bolorama in my horror room right now. So thanks for joining us and following us over to Boobs. Wonderful. Let's do it. You see him?
Yeah.
Oh, I see him.
All right. Banned from YouTube. Have a good evening, everyone.